screen with the few colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading
It's
about.
showtime, folks. Enjoy the show.
We're delighted to have you with us. They're driving theater.
You'll find something to please you to add to your evening's enjoyment.
Is pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
Yo, what's up, Internet? What's up, everyone on the World Wide Webs? Sitting there talking about your Star Warses.
That's what we're going to do.
I know, we did it. I know we're a week behind, but I promised my dang family that I would save watching Star Wars with them on Christmas so that we could, wait a minute and see it as a family. Thank God, because I don't want to see it again.
A family plus me.
Yeah, plus the grip. Went and saw it.
Oh, what? We're bringing lightsabers? No one told me. I could have brought mine from home.
We got lightsabers up in the studio. If you're not watching at home, you could tune in on our Facebook Live at facebook.com/The Driving Speakerbox or youtube.com/The Driving Speakerbox.
Yo, you know what we should do? We should be like all the other YouTubers. You know what? Now would be a good time to hit that like button and comment below what your favorite lightsaber color is and why.
Oh,
you like the yellow ones? Like you like to be like Plo Koon? You want those orange, or was it Ki-Adi-Mundi have a yellow one? Plo Koon had an orange one. Yeah. Or you like purple? You like that grape flavored saber?
I do like the grape saber.
Or you about maybe like the green, like my boy Qui-Gon and Luke once he became a badass before it got undone by dumbass movies.
Yeah, true.
Or you like blue, like a normie.
Or you one of those like Clone War people that's now watching The Mandalorian, getting all caught up with the dark saber.
No, that's stupid. Get that Knights of the Old Republic nonsense out of here with your silver and white sabers, and Jedi can use the bow staff sabers. That's a Sith only thing. You can't do that. You can't do that.
The dark saber just made its appearance in The Mandalorian.
No, we'll never accept it.
And the guy from Breaking Bad who does the chicken hermanos chicken or whatever, he's like, this is the scene. He's all like, wow, I'm flying around shooting at Baby Yoda, and then Mando is like riding on the TIE fighter as it's going, and then they're like, oh no, and he's like, I'm gonna get you just like I got that guy in Breaking Bad. And then Mando's like, put a bomb on it, and goes, and it's like, blah, and he goes, ah, and he crashes, and he gets out with his dark saber. Get the fuck out of here. Get out with this crap. Stupid Mandalorian.
Dude, look, a lot of people prefer the Electrum. That's the real name for the purple one. And then check it out, we got crystal sabers. Those are your standard color ones.
Johnny
like the blue
Dalton likes the crystal saber.
The green, yeah.
Purple. Well, anyway, we're going to be talking about a Star Wars episode, whatever the hell we're up to, Rise of Skywalker.
9. X.
Yeah.
Star Wars Episode X.
Star Wars 9! But anyway, we're going to be talking about that, and we're also going to be talking about Uncut Gems, which I caught over the weekend. Caught it yesterday morning. Loving those AMCAMs. Loving those.
That would be. Hey, copyright. That's if you can have it. AMC. Just
they already did it.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
I had never heard that. That's pretty good.
AM Cinema, AMC.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, we're going to be talking about that. First, we're going to talk about news, which there isn't much of because the holidays happened. Everybody was doing that whole thing, and everybody was at home with families, and loved ones, and friends. We hope you guys had a
loved ones.
We hope you guys had a good holiday. We did. We had a good time. We went and saw the Star Warses. And we're getting ready for New Year's. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve. We hope that you guys have something fun planned, maybe watching movies. If you live in the Northwest Arkansas listening area where we are broadcasting live from, you can check out my New Year's party, which is pretty rad. It is the return of the Blue Masquerade. Look at that. It's already up on the screen. the return of a very legendary party. We brought it back last year. You can check out tickets. You can check out more information at bluenye.com. Hey, those VIP tickets are already sold out, but there's plenty of general admission left. And online pre-sale goes all the way until midnight tonight. And then tomorrow will be cash at the door. So look at that, sold out. But good times, great fun. You can check that out. Beatbox presents Blue Masquerade. That is tomorrow night. But if you're staying at home, movie marathoning, doing fun stuff, it is a good time to avoid all humans if you are like me and need to throw parties to put a barrier between yourself and all of these people, but still want to be around all these people. It's good times. But anyway, not a lot of stuff happened. So we're going to spend most of the show talking about what's coming out next week, talking about box office stuff. We're going to be talking about these two movies in depth. And the one bit of news I do want to mention is I have to see Cats this week. I have to see it.
Oh man, we missed it. We're not going to be able to see the unaltered, the unfixed, the intact. The not spayed or neutered version. Though everyone has been commented that all of the cats in the movie look like they're trying to like hump each other constantly.
Yeah,
that's like a thing. Like it's way hyper sexualized.
Mm-hmm. I mean, those cats, bruh.
Yeah, like that, just creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Way over the top.
Yeah,
more so than the trailer was like.
It's a musical.
You thought it was creepy before, but wait until you see the story.
And it's like they're so hypersexualized on each other. None of them have like booty holes or genitalias or anything. No nippies. I didn't see any nips. Even though cats have a bunch. Like, where are y'all's nips at? Like, if y'all trying to be all sexy time.
Wow, you just made this even more weird.
Hey, it's cats, and I hear that that's how weird it is. I've been hearing from a lot of people that I need to go see it. I need to review it, and I'm going to try and check it out this week, so we will see
Speaking
about
of
that.
Cats, here comes old Johnny Dalton, Pussy Hands.
That's Cat Hands.
No, dude. Pussy Hands. That's what your name is. That's what we'll call you. From the It's Always Sunny, when Mac tries to join the mob, and he tries to give himself a cool nickname, and it just turns into Pussy Hands.
I mean, that's not a bad nickname to have, I guess. Anyway, not a lot of stuff happening in the news. So we're just going to transition right over to what's coming out in theaters this weekend. And again, it's because it is the new year. It is New Year's weekend. It is January. January is notorious for... January and February are like... for movies. So you're not going to get any of those big blockbusters that everything has to be now before it's a good movie. So you might actually get to see some smaller films.
Or 1917 is supposed to hit expanded here in the next 2 weeks.
I think
by
January
January 10th. Yep.
So, but this week, the only major release hitting theaters, again, by design, not wanting to compete with the Frozens and the Star Wars, and the Disney juggernaut, is The Grudge.
Again.
I can't tell if this is a sequel, if this is a remake, because it was already made, which it was a remake from the Japanese horror film
Ju-on.
And then they made an American English version. And then is this a remake of the American English version, or is this a sequel where they just like put "the" in front of it? And
well, there was
the first one just called Grudge.
Well, there was Ju-on and Ju-ni, right? Because there was the Japanese one, and then its sequel. And then did the initial remake have a sequel to it as well, or is this the first, the next time?
I mean, well, let's see here. It looks like there was a Grudge 2.
Oh, see?
And it also looks like there might have been a Grudge 3. And I think this is just a reboot of The Grudge.
Okay. So this is now the fourth English-speaking make of the film?
Yes.
Sixth one?
Yes.
You know, I watched those back when that was like fresh Japanese weird nonsense hitting our shores.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like Takashi Shimizu, he's pretty.
I don't remember. That was back when I would watch horror movies and things.
Well, and
like that.
he pioneered that sort of like creepy girl horror, where like fingers are coming out of flesh, kind of like the reinvention of body horror in a spooky way, without just being straight up gore, which was kind of neat. A lot of bones and joints moving in weird ways, and. But then America had to go, oh, what? Fuck it up.
Well,
and
like Johnny's saying there, jump scare the movie. The English version was the first American outing of the film, because the Japanese ones were creepy and it was weird, and it got to you, those and the original Ring, and there was one other like those that I used to watch that. And then I remember when the American version of it came out, I watched it at a friend's house. It was me, a friend, and one of our other friends, and me and him. Me, a friend, and another one of our friends. Two friends of mine. So I was at one friend's house. He and I were sitting there eating, and we were minding our own business. And our other friend, this girl that was hanging out with us, she was getting into y'all's business. No, and then she something did a jump scare on the movie, and she literally started choking. We had to Heimlich her, but we laughed so hard we could barely do it, because she was so scared at like a really dumb jump scare. As she's dying, movie. Everyone's just laughing. Well, because it was so ridiculous that they were trying to make it terrifying in some way. Well, it was not good.
The Grudge coming out.
I'm a great storyteller, everybody.
What were you eating? I think that's imperative to
some sort of weird Vietnamese food.
Word.
Yeah.
Word.
I don't know. I don't know
Ears
specifically.
Perking up from our producer over here. He's
I don't know. Foods. It was something that his parents handed us, and we were like, cool, food. And we just ate because we were teenagers, and it was food.
Man, this has nothing to do with the drive-in speaker box, but question over to our producer. When are we going to do another hot plate night where we're just sitting around drinking cognac, cooking stuff on the hot plate?
Oh, yeah.
That was a good
pot,
time.
Yeah, I was actually just talking about that a few days ago to a few other mutual friends. Hot pot or the spring roll night soon, before the cold weather
really
is no more.
Yeah.
Because this is perfect, especially hot pot. So
yeah,
I'll be in here next couple weeks.
Heck yeah, dude! I'm about it. I need it. January is. I'm gonna try, and new year, new me, and not necessarily new me, but just rested me. Like sitting at home, catching up on Star Trek Voyager.
Yes.
And like not answering my phone and not putting pants on and eating beef jerky right out of the bag. Get deep into that
Voyager, man, because Voyager gets good. People hate on it, but it gets really good. Robert Picardo as the Doctor, his character just continues to develop. 7 of 9 becomes like a cool character. The Captain just... Janeway ruins the timeline multiple times and pisses off the universe, but she doesn't care. Because Klingons versus Nazis is a real thing that happens in Voyager that's super cool. Space dinosaurs. Tom Paris Hot Rod in the Galaxy. It's freaking cool.
Well, from the comment section here on YouTube, someone says we should do some commentaries. And that's something I've thought about doing here at the Drive-In Speaker Box, but we can't show the videos of what we're commentarying on, unlike video games. I think it would be fun, and I've always toyed with the idea, because I used to host these evenings, is usually in Octobers, but I would do a live with my old co-host, the
Burger Picker.
The Gaffer. The Booker Picker, and we would do Schlock Cinema Live, and it was kind of proto riff tracks and all that kind of stuff. But we would set up a screen live at a local watering hole here, and we would show the movie on a big 9-foot screen, because I have one of those. It's amazing. Or actually, it's a 15-foot screen. What am I talking about? It's like 9 this way and 15 that way. It's awesome. But we would do live commentary, and it was a lot of fun.
We could do, like Vince said, the Wizard people, Dear Readers.
That's what I was getting at. Yeah, it's just like, all right, here's the start time, and we're like, press play now. Boop. And we have like the the old like record player where you get the book and you put the record on, and I was like, turn the page now. Boop.
Which if you've never done Wizard People Dear Reader, that's a fun thing, talking about watching movies and staying up and things like that. Yeah. Find Wizard People Dear Reader. done by a man from Fort Smith, Arkansas, the guy that did China, Illinois on Cartoon Network.
He's a weird guy.
He did Professor Brothers on YouTube.
Used to bang a friend of mine.
Cool, man. And he has a lot of stuff that he created out there on YouTube, so you can look up China, Illinois, and Professor Brothers and all that. But he did Wizard People, Dear Reader, which is very funny commentary on Harry Potter and the Sorcerer/Philosopher's Stone movie.
I think I would really like to do a series on Night of the Demons, but you'd have to watch it with me, and it's freaking hilarious and stupid, and there's like 6 of them, or maybe 4 of them. I don't know. I think it would be really good. We ain't gonna do no Night of the Living Dead. We're gonna dig deeper for you. We're gonna watch something that you ain't seen yet, maybe, and it'll be fun. We'll do that. Maybe we'll do something for Valentine's Day. How about that? How about somewhere on Valentine's Day for all of the people that probably watch the show that don't have significant others?
That's us.
Yeah, we'll be, we'll all cuddle up together and we'll watch a movie and we'll make you laugh and then cry when it's over.
I don't know about this cuddle portion.
No, we're talking about them. They can cuddle up.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, yeah, y'all can do whatever you want. You know what? I'm excited about this Stooges shorts being public domain right now. That's super cool. Or do they have shrimp or skimp? Shimp? Do they have shimp?
Yeah, it's shimp.
Dude, listen, man. I've been working all day.
He ain't no curly.
Gotta. Yeah.
Yeah. You'd have to see what we're doing. You got to get on that video.
That was probably about as good as that last Stooges movie attempt.
Oh God, the one that had that girl that dressed like a nurse that was really controversial with the big old.
I don't know.
Braziers, I think is what nuns carry that they burn the incense in.
Will Sasso was in it, right? That's all I remember.
Anyway, what are we even talking about?
We're talking about shrimpy shrimp.
Shrimp skimpy shrimps.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll do an audio commentary here pretty soon. But in the meantime, check out those podcasts, like, share, and subscribe. Wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, do all that stuff. Please just share the love. We're not doing this for anything but fun and adoration from you. Butts.
Money would be cool. Oh, yeah, we're doing it for butts.
We're doing it for butts.
Nice.
All the butts.
Yeah.
So send your butt in a self-addressed stamped envelope too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Snail mail it, man.
Yeah, like at your Christmas party, if you sat on the Xerox copier and like Xerox your butt, then self-addressed stamped envelope to what is it? What was the Scruff McGruff like?
Crime dogs?
Yeah, he's like, send your self-addressed stamped envelope to 60652 Sacramento, California, and help me.
Sorry, whoever lives there.
A crime. Yeah, all 4 people are gonna call it. But anyway, all right, let's The Grudge. It's coming out in theaters this week. Let's talk about. Do we want to talk about Uncut Gems? Do we want to talk about Star Wars? What do you guys? What do you guys want us to start with?
Well,
in the comments,
you did Uncut Gems solo. You could go through it before we get into the whole big
let's do that.
Star Wars. And first, Vince asked if we have reviewed Parasite, which you did.
Yes, I did. It is on an older episode. It should be in the title if you search back on there. But Uncut Gems, we'll go ahead and start with Uncut Gems. The new film out in theaters right now, being put out by A24. Look at you, A24, just crushing the game this past couple of years. But Uncut Gems, of course, is the one that everybody's talking about that's starring Adam Sandler. And a lot of breakout stars, a lot of up-and-comers.
Like Kevin Garnett.
Yes, actually, and his like acting debut, even though he was playing himself, so he's not really having to act very hard. But it's from the Safdie brothers, Benny and Josh Safdie, and starring Julia Fox. This is her first film, and she did really. Actually, we're going to see a lot more of her, I believe. The Weeknd is in it, and
he's still a guy that people recognize.
He is, man, and because this takes place in 2012, and I heard some people coming out of the theater going, "Well, that doesn't understand. I don't understand why it takes place in 2012." And it's like, well, because it's talking about actual sports games that actually happened with an actual sports person. Like, it kind of makes sense that it's happening in a time because we can go back and see those, like that game actually happened. And anyway, but it was also starring Eric Bogosian, who is a dude that I have not seen in a film in a long time, and he is always the guy that's like, yo, I'm mob guy, I'm gonna kick your ass for looking at me crooked. And I mean, this dude back in the 80s, he was in all these, you know, crime movies. Don't even look at me, because I'm gonna knuckle sandwich you. And you hungry? Hey! And like all of this.
Did you pick this up when you were in New York? Is that what you did?
Nah, it's because I used to watch movies with Eric Bogosian and and the movie does take place in New York. It takes place on Diamond Row, which I actually
embodiment of pussy hands over here.
But it, you know, it was weird because like 2-3 weeks ago I walked my folks down Diamond Row. I was like, here's Diamond Row. You want to check it out? It's kind of neat. Because the weird thing about it is, if depending on what time of day you go, like if you go during the afternoon and everything's open, you're like, oh God, look at all this jewelry and look at all these sleazy people everywhere, and look at all these, you know, Hasidic Jews with coats that, you know, have like guns and blood diamonds inside of them. You've seen the movies, and I know, dude.
Are you talking
crazy.
about like that one heist movie?
Like all heist movies, and there's always some. No, dude. But seriously, if you've ever been down that street, it's literally like that. And every door is like a jewelry store. But if you go after like 8 o'clock when they all close, it looks like everything's out of business because there's so much crime there that they have to take everything out of the windows, everything out of the display cases, everything, and lock it up in the vault. So you walk down and you're like, wow, everything's shut down. Is the economy tanked? Which is the question that my mom had. She's like, is all this shutting down? I was like, no, they have to put it all in the safe every night.
What was that movie where they all dressed up as the Hasidic Jews?
Snatch? Or Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels?
Yeah,
and it was like Benicio del Toro dressed up as a Hasidic Jew.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not super big on.
I think it might have been Snatch.
Movie.
You know, Guy Ritchie heist movie. There was actually one of the recent Rick and Morty episodes makes fun of heist movies, which was kind of funny.
Oh yeah,
the new season of Rick and Morty.
We didn't talk about news. There was a trailer for a new Guy Ritchie movie that came out.
Oh, it's coming. I mean, I've seen that trailer a billion times. It actually looks good. It's like Matthew
The
McConaughey
gentleman,
going,
yeah.
"Oh yeah, I'm a lion and my lion roar because I sell marijuana.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna shoot a bullet with you and out of this gun. It's King's gun, and I'm the king, baby." And it's like weird.
Okay. Well, yeah, that was weird. Yeah, that's what.
That was in the trailer. That was, I'm pretty sure, verbatim. Matthew McConaughey being like, "Oh, yeah, I'm king of the jungle," and like weird McConaughey stuff that he's like is now his brand.
McConaugheyisms.
Yeah, McConaugheyisms. But anyway, Eric Bogosian, he plays this character who is married. You find out kind of a weird reveal part of the movie. I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but he's kind of an in-law of the main character played by Adam Sandler. And this movie, just my 1-sentence review of this movie, 2 sentences, maybe a comma and a run-on sentence, but Adam Sandler in one of the most impressive performances, making me interested in a movie about 2 things that I could give absolute less shit about for the most stressful 2 hours of my life. And because the movie is about sports and jewelry, 2 things that I think only idiots care about. Sorry for you idiots at home. I know. I just jewelry and sports. I mean,
dude, wrestling's a sport. I feel attacked right now. Racing is sports. Unreal.
As I was saying, so it takes place in New York, Diamond Row. Adam Sandler is this Jewish jewelry store owner who has a gambling problem. It doesn't go out and it's like, oh, gambling's ruining my life, and it's like super heavy-handed like most movies are, where it's like, oh, you gotta stop with this gambling, Peter. It's ruining your life, and you just live like about a week in this dude's life. And you see that he's got a problem. You know, he's just it's just so stressful and it's so intense, and he's trying to pay off all these guys, and every time he gets a little bit ahead and gets a big bit of money, he's like, oh, I'm going to take it to the bookie. I'm going to make this bet. And the whole movie revolves around this black opal that he gets from Ethiopia. And he shows it to Kevin Garnett, and Garnett immediately wants it. He's like, I'm obsessed with this. He
didn't show him a garnet?
I know he didn't want it, you think. But he has this guy that comes in, tries to get these like rock stars, rappers, and athletes to come in and buy all this like super tacky jewelry. And Kevin Garnett comes in, he shows him this opal, and he's like, I want that opal. And Adam says like, well, I just I didn't want it, and doing all this stuff that actually works for this character, this really intense Jewish like diamond trader. And
no one knows what that was.
Those Adam Sandler noises were like, I'm coming out of the booth. Those kind of Adam Sandler. Those Adam Sandler noises. We all know them. It's canon, which is like the new phrase now. It's canon. So anyway, Kevin Garnett wants this opal. He loans the thing to make him play really good in this game. Kevin Garnett like just blows the thing out of the water, crushes the game. He's like, oh, the gym, it's giving me power, man. I'm just so inspired. And so now Adam Sandler's character has this big bright idea where he's going to pay off all his debts by betting on this next game. But he also has this opal up for auction, and he owes 3 different people money, and then he's got all these people just knocking on his door constantly, and his phone's always going, and it's just like these 4 days of intense crazy pressure. And he's got a marriage that's falling apart and a side piece who Julia Fox, Google it. And it's just, I can't really explain this movie other than watching this dude with a problem exist in this world that is just so unbelievably stressful. You're just sitting there watching every mistake that he makes, like going, oh God, oh no, why, oh, why would you, oh God, that's not going to be good. And I can't give too much away because it is a ride, but it is a very intense, very stressful, very well done ride through jewelry trading and sports betting and all this seedy, underhanded shit. And a guy that just has a problem. And there's a really good monologue in this where Kevin is asking, he's like, why are you doing this, man? Why are you like, how much did you get that opal for? Tell me. And he's like, well, if I told you, it would, it kind of probably piss you off. And he's just like, tell me, man, I don't care. And he tells him he only got it for like, a couple $1,000s, and it's worth $1 million. He's trying to sell it. And he's like, oh, well, then why are you charging so much? He's like, dude, everybody wants to win. You're out there on that court. Do you only want to win by 1 point? He's like, no, you want to win by as many points as possible. You want all those people, you want them to, look at you as a winner. You want to crush it and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, that's you. This is me. This is what I do. This is how I win. And it was actually a really cool speech talking about people in their craft, in their element, trying to succeed and trying to do what they do and do it the best. And it doesn't always work for this guy. And watching this journey of this character, just, these choices that he makes trying to win, and the streak of bad luck that he has just crumbling everything around him. And I don't want to give it away, but it's not really about anything, but it's so good. It's so good. It's very real. It's very gritty. Like there's one little detail that I noticed that made this movie so real to me, because I'm a busy dude, especially this time of year. Like I'm, producing events, I'm doing the show, I got a TV show, I've got a bar I'm running, I'm doing all this kind of crazy crap, and it's the holidays, and so you got social engagements and requirements, and so my phone's always ringing off the hook. I'm on the phone, I'm calling all these people. And so the first thing I do when I'm sitting still is plug my phone in. And everywhere he goes, he's like, yo, put this on the charger. Put this on the charger. And then he'll sit in his desk and he clicks his phone in. He's always charging his phone because he's always on his phone. And I thought that was a really interesting little detail that you don't normally see in movies that is very real about people that are just always go, 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 going. And I'm like, oh, man, you just really believe everything that you're watching. And Adam Sandler, you stop seeing Adam Sandler for, shampoo is better. I go on first and I clean the hair. No, conditioner is better. I go on and leave the hair silky and smooth. Oh, really? Like, you forget all of that for 2 hours.
Yeah, but that's Billy Madison.
That is Billy Madison. Just tap it in, Happy. Tap it in. That's Happy Gilmore. I know what it is. You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
No.
You forget that part of Adam Sandler, and I really, really hope to see more dramatic roles out of Adam Sandler because we hadn't seen one since Punch Drunk Love.
Spanglish, bro.
Oh yeah, Spanglish. But that was, yeah, you're right. But Punch Drunk Love was the one. That was a good one.
Yeah, I don't think anyone liked Spanglish.
But this one,
Anger Management.
That was still very much comedy. But Vince in the comments over on YouTube he says, I call conditioner shampoo to pair up with shampoo. So I guess you got them backwards though, because shampoo's number 2 and shampoo would be number 1. So what do you condition first, my dude? I don't know. Weird. And then Johnny Dalton on YouTube says it's canon. True life. But anyway, Uncut Gems, it's got an expanded release. It's probably playing in the theater near you. It's playing in over 2,500 theaters nationwide. I think I'd check this out. Go see it. If you don't want to see Frozen or Star Wars or Disney properties or Jumanji, and you want to go see a film, like a well-made film, like it's not I wouldn't call it an arts film, but it's definitely an indie film, and not one of those where some theater kids are like, I wrote this screenplay in my MFA theater class, and I think the 3-man play would make a really good movie. And those are always really bad. It's always two estranged brothers that fall in love with the same woman, and then their families torn apart, and they learn the true meaning of blood ties.
No,
and it's all on a farm somewhere.
There's no estranged brother movie better than the Corsican Brothers. So.
Fair enough.
Cheech and Chong.
They are the true estranged brothers. They are estranged. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, I was trying to make a Cheech and Chong joke, but it didn't hit. Anyway, go see Uncut Gems. It's good. I liked it. It was fun. No, it wasn't fun. Take that back. It was stressful and it was tragic and it wore me out. But I liked it. So there you go. Uncut Gems in theaters right now. Okay. Is it time? Do we need to tackle that beast? Do we need to address the giant tauntaun in the room? Do we need to take that speeder bike to Review Town?
You mean, do we need to address the festering Rancor corpse? Or the dead Jabba.
The strangled Jabba. Strangled by the chains of its own hubris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big and stinky and dead and dumb.
With that tongue that's looks like a big old turd hanging out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
We need to do this. We need to talk about Star Wars. We need to talk about the rise of Skywalker. Or Skyfalter, or whatever alliterative joke you can make here. And it's been out for 2 weeks, so we're going to talk about some scenes, and we'll try and be as spoiler free, but in a movie that is so freaking predictable.
Guess
and
what?
spoon-fed,
You've seen it before.
You've seen it all before, because the movie was 2 hours of callbacks and poorly done fan service. We didn't need to see Ewoks. We know they're there. There's so many things that we didn't need to see. We didn't need to see Rey somehow get Luke Skywalker's 50-year-old X-Wing that's been sitting at the bottom of an ocean and go, well, I better get in here. Beep, boop, boop. Turbo, and we fly out into space in a fucking waterlogged X-wing that, like, system check, please. You don't have an R2 unit in that sucker. Like, who's driving?
Yo, and straight up, they were just like at the beginning of the movie, so not a spoiler, at the very beginning, they're like, Ray, we need you out in the space fighting with us. You're the best pilot we have, even though I'm the best pilot we have.
Even though none of you have ever piloted.
Even though you've lived your entire life being a dirty desert rat that never flew anything, and all of a sudden you're the best one because you have some untrained force powers. Oh, I hate this movie, and I hate everything about Star Wars.
See, I don't have the same hate as you. Hang on,
dude. This is full.
Let me get my lightsaber again.
This is how you create Sith.
You want this, don't you? Take this lightsaber and strike this franchise down, and then join me in the dark side, and we will rule the galaxy.
Yeah.
Hey, as boom operator and grip.
That's the plot of this stupid fucking movie. Again.
Remember me, Emperor Palpatine, that you threw down an electricity tube? Well, I was probably just a clone, and now I'm back because I'm made of electricity. Maybe you missed the shit out of my fingers. Now I live on a fucking crane arm in a planet by a bunch of hooded fuckos that you can't even see who they are. Then are they gonna stop and try and save me while I'm melting my goddamn face off with electricity that I'm shooting at my own face? No!
Whoa, that's this movie to a T, to a crane-operated T, and it shows you that in the first 5 seconds. Still not any spoilers.
No spoilers.
This movie opens up with a dumb fucking montage of every dumbass from this entire series
making out, and it goes, maybe you didn't know, but we have lesbians in space, bruh.
Yeah.
Well, good luck on your journey.
Yeah, they're like, whoa, let's fly through space. Hyper jump, and they pull the Guardians of the Galaxy, and they jump through like 50 different things. Like, how do you do that? How are you doing that? You're gonna blow up the ship. What are you doing? Oh no, space. And then they're like, okay, turns out we're safe. Oh, sweet.
Yeah, everything we've ever established with how hyperspace travel works, it doesn't matter.
And they have Mark Hamill doing an alien voice. You're like, why is Luke Skywalker not Luke Skywalker?
I don't know.
And there's some plot established about spies at the beginning, and it's just one spy, and then that plot goes nowhere, and it's resolved almost instantaneously when they remember to bring it up.
Yeah, that when you find out, that was the one kind of okay moment, was when you find out who the spy was, and it was just like,
you knew that's you. If you watch the other movies,
it was a little bit satisfying. Then it was satisfying to see him die, and I mean, it was, but this movie. I'm not, people are like, I don't understand why there's so much toxic hate against the Star Wars movie. And, you should like it because it was fun and it had a good time and it had a really good message about togetherness and acceptance and evil versus good and good overcoming.
No bullshit.
And, I just don't understand all this toxic reviews that are happening, and like people that I know and thought I respected are posting.
Fuck those people.
Yes.
Listen, it's not even a fucking Star Wars movie. It opens up with a montage. There's another montage halfway through the screen. There's no screen wipes. There's nothing Star Wars.
No iris wipes.
Yeah, there's no kind of depth or storytelling or stakes, and it's all just something you've seen before. Every planet you've fucking seen before. It's like, here's the rebels on Yavin. Oh, but it's not Yavin because that would be the same. But this one's different. Oh, here's a bunch of clones made on a rainy planet. Oh, but it's not Camino. It's a different planet because you would have seen that before. Oh, and here's a Jedi trained on a jungle, but it's not Dagobah because it has to be different. Duh. It's not the same. It's just exactly the fucking same. And they do montage and montage and montage and comedy and galaxy of the Guardian bullshit nonsense. It wasn't fucking Star Wars. It was stupid and it was dumb. And now you can reach behind and dig in your own asshole with the Force and pull out objects that someone halfway across space hands to you so that you can kill pointless, stupid Knights of Ren that or show up for 5 seconds, let the plot go to waste, and
with not even lightsaber swords, actual swords.
Yeah,
what the hell is an actual sword gonna do in a blaster fight or a laser sword fight?
Oh, here's these super bad guys. Hope they don't find you, and then they don't find you. They're like, oh, there they are. Oh, they're sneaking onto the main ship, and they're gonna cause some trouble for us bad guys. Better let them do it because I'm a fucking idiot.
Oh, actually, the ship that all the bad guys are on, well, I don't know. Probably the best plan is to get a bunch of cowboys riding literal space horses shooting
With
bows
and
and arrows
arrows.
at spaceships.
And the one time they do the bow and arrow, it's like a Nerf arrow where it like
Shoo!
blink, and then they fucking murk this ship like it's nothing. Idiots. Oh, I hate everything about this.
They'll never
stupid
see
movie.
horseback riders coming on the wing of this already in flight Star Destroyer.
Yeah. Shut the speeders down because we have buttons to control everyone else's ships. Oh, they're not on speeders. They're on tusked horses. Fuck you. Fuck you, J.J. Abrams.
And then
I want to meet J.J. Abrams and punch him in his short little dumb fucking mouth.
The arrows work because like all the freaking Star Destroyers now have like laser dicks, and they're like, well, remember when we invented planet
Dude, they
destroying
did. They had
weapons?
dicks hanging off of the fucking Star
Like
Destroyers.
truck nuts for a Star Destroyer, and it's like, well, we invented planet destroying weapons in one of the movies, and it only required lifetimes of service and tons of Imperial trooper like
They did
labor,
it in-
and they go, well, now we installed them on every single one of
They
them
did
in
it
the matter of 3
the movies.
years.
They're like, oh, remember the Death Star and how it was a small moon? And then in Return of the Jedi, there was a Death Star and it was bigger than a small moon, even unfinished. And then remember in the next movie when it was a fucking planet?
Yeah, Star
it's-
Killer Base
Yeah.
was huge.
It was
and-
a planet?
Yeah, and now they're like, just install that gun on every
Yeah.
ship.
Yeah.
Whoa!
How do you think a Star Destroyer would look with a dick hanging off of it?
Pretty rad,
And
bro.
Palpatine's like, yes, stroke your fury into that planet.
Release your hatred through the shaft of your dark weenus.
And, like,
Jeez, what a waste of Ian McDiarmid, too.
oh, I know. What was he thinking? He's like,
I can't even believe this.
oh man, and like the Kylo Ren, and you know the
Their dumbass Romeo and Juliet horseshit story.
when did they fall in love? Like how is Rey like, oh well, you've only chased me across the galaxy, tortured a lot of my friends, killed a lot of people that I know, and we've only been fighting tirelessly for most of my adult life, but you know what, now that you have like apologized once, let's make out.
Yeah, we communicated through space once, and I always wanted your hand, Ben, not Kylo, but Ben. Remember, that's your name because you're Ben, and you're not Kylo because Kylo's bad and Ben's good, and Ben's not dead and Kylo's dead, but Kylo's alive, and you say Ben's dead, but you're Ben.
Yeah.
I like you, Ben.
Oh yeah, well maybe your dead dad will come and talk to you and whip some sense into your brain,
And then your mom will die talking to your dumb ass.
and no one will care. Like, oh, and then Chewie will get a medal.
Oh, 42 years after the
he'll
fact.
get the Battle of Yavin medal. It's like, who the hell is this little like puckered butthole alien eyes, voiced by Lupita Nyong'o? It's just like, I collected all these like nerdy mint in box treasures. I have Chewie's medal that I've been hanging on for 42 years. I have Luke's lightsaber over here. I've got this magical Goonies knife that you can like just walk into any point in the desert, hold it up, and see exactly where the cone of find the emperor. Like,
Yeah,
what the hell is
straight
this
up
technology?
Dumbass, like fucking Uncharted bullshit story. Like, and now's the water level, and you have to line up the knife with the ridges because someone made it after the fucking fact. Are you kidding me?
So this ancient knife, and they go, all of these ruins of this planet that fell down in a chaotic ocean of things that would probably move with the tide. No, I'm gonna smith this Goonies coin knife to where like the first time you hold it up, it's gonna
No
line
effort
up.
put into it. They're like, let's walk to this portion of the shore, not anywhere else on this indoor
I've
moon.
got an idea.
Because it had to be
Oh, there it
fucking
is.
indoor moons again. They're like, oh, it's a different moon. It's not the cool moon with the witches that ride Rancors that you would have loved to seen on screen. And it's not the moon with the Ewoks, but it's one just adjacent to both of those that have a bunch of former stormtroopers that all just look like Finn with gaps in their dumbass teeth, riding on tusk horses, being fucking stupid next to dumbass ocean field.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, we can get there by boat, but not right now because there's waves.
Oh, and then it turns out you can right now, and then everyone does it. Like, no, it's dangerous. We'll die. Okay, I'll be there in a second.
Yeah, whew. Man, and like the triangles of Find the Emperor, like. Who would invent that technology? Why would it be a thing?
Crush! Now you have to kiss me if you want to know the directions.
It's so ridiculous. I mean,
not on my mouth, on my pee-pee.
On my lightsaber.
Yeah, fuck this movie. It's so stupid.
It's and here's the thing. Going back to Baby Yoda, I'm going to take all of these things back to Baby Yoda and Baby Groot. Yes, there were some fights that I thought were neat. Yes, there was some flying parts where I'm like, oh, cool, spaceship, pew pew pew. All right, cool.
What parts were you
just
watching?
Like little parts, little action parts that I'm like, okay.
Like the montages?
No, there was just some little pieces.
Or the chaos where you couldn't tell what was going on because it had more screen cuts than fucking
It
Taken.
was so like fast paced, over the top. But there was just scenes that were like, oh, okay, that's neat. That's neat. Oh yeah, there's Han Solo again. That's neat. Oh, there's Luke Skywalker again. That's neat. But that doesn't make a good movie. Those are just things that are neat, like individual things that are neat. That when you throw them all together, it's like, all the toppings that you can put on a pizza don't make a good pizza. Like when you go, well, we've got all these toppings and all these toppings are delicious. Put them all on there. And then you're like, what the fuck did you do with my pizza? Like it's you're like, all right, I guess it's a good pizza because I kind of like pepperoni and, I'll eat around the pineapple that you put next to, but you like pineapple, but do you like it on pizza? You like black olives, but do you also want green olives, which you like, but do you want them both on your pizza? It's just like you can't put all of it in there and make it good. Yes, there are olive, and that's kind of what this movie was trying to do because it didn't know what it wanted to do. It didn't have a plan really, and you could tell that this movie, no matter what they try to feed you, you can see that they did not have a plan.
This was course correction. The movie. All in all, it was nothing but plot holes, unthought out conflicts with either no resolution or a resolution that happened far too fast. They left open mysteries, even though they said everything was going to be answered, and everything they answered you really didn't care to find out about.
No.
And everything was told in a very un-Star Wars way because they were trying to jam so much of it in there.
And that's my problem with this, everything was done in an un-Star Wars way. And they're like, well, we're trying to reinvent the blast. Just don't be a stuck-up old fan. And it's like, you're the one making a Star Wars movie, you butthole. Mm-hmm. Like...
Well, now they have powers that never manifested before. Jedis can talk and communicate across all of time and space. They can materialize objects by handing it to one another. They can fly through space, the void of space. They can die on command and just do whatever they want. If any of these powers were available ever in the history of Jedi ever, then you wouldn't have the fucking Empire, because Jedi would be like, oh, clone troopers, thanks for the heads up, guy halfway across the galaxy. Hey, hand me that lightsaber. And they're like, sure thing, dude. 5 billion light years away, and they're like, dank memes. You're dead, clones. That was easy. Let's go get that Palpatine fuck. I heard he's a bad guy now.
Or like, oh, we just raided this thing, the star base, to get this delicate files. Take a Jedi with you so he can put it in his force pocket, and then it'll bloop, we got it.
Or some Jedi would be like, whoa, so I was just spying on Dooku taking a dookie because it's fun for me? Don't ask. But did you know he's making clones? That's weird. And everyone's like, oh, let's go put a stop to that. There wouldn't be a fucking Star Wars if they had all these dumbass superpowers that are just so beyond anything that should ever be ever, because Obi-Wan wouldn't be like, oh, I have a bad feeling, or I feel like this may have happened, or like,
be like, hey, I saw this.
They'd be like, yo, straight up, did you know this shit's going on? Let's head over to the other corner of the galaxy and put an end to this. That was easy.
Hyperspace jump.
Yeah.
6 times, get where we need to go. Right in the middle of where we need to go. Just pew, 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 pew. Ah, shoot, we landed. We hyperspaced on the ground.
Yeah. Or in episode 1, they'd be like, dude, did you know that there's Sith again? And they're like, what? Where? And they're like, oh, just over there. They're like, let's murk them. They'd send like 500 Jedi to like take them out in 2 seconds.
And here's the other thing. That this movie establishes its own powers and its own crazy craziness, but doesn't adhere to them. Where it's like, well, okay, let's say, well, oh, Rey's got Palpatine blood, and then Kylo Ren's got a little bit of Skywalker blood or whatever. Yeah, big spoiler, lightning fingers. It's in the fucking trailer.
Yeah, they're friggin' Romeo and Juliet. Oh, I'm a Capulet, and you're a Montague. Can you believe it? We're so different.
Oh, let's die together.
Yeah, let's both die, but not die. And also, we have healing hands, so maybe no one dies because Jedi can do that now because there was a snake thing that's been cut for 500 years, and it's stupid.
Well, and so let's say they have all these powers. Let's say, well, it's because of the midichlorian count in these people. It's just whatever. But here's my problem is every Jedi, when a big freaking problem happens in the Force, they're like, ooh, I felt a ripple in the Force. Something's wrong. Now, I'm pretty sure if these two ultra-powerful Jedis that can have conversations halfway across the galaxy...
Make lightsabers appear out of thin air. Which you can't do because lightsabers take, like, force crystals and you have to use powers to do it. And it's...
all of this stuff. Then certainly, if there was an entire evil Sith planet with cloning other evil Siths in a Sith machine with the most powerful Sith who could literally make lightning sky happen to blow up every ship in the sky just because he goes, meow! I'm pretty sure there would be a ripple in the Force.
Hey, do you guys feel that extremely crazy dark side presence? Like it's 500 Snokes in a test tube and a Palpatine ding dong? Like, you feel that over there too? And they're like, yeah, I do. That's crazy.
We should maybe figure this one out.
Yeah. And straight up, the whole plot of this movie is that Luke Skywalker, the most powerful Jedi to ever live ever, because he's the one that was born of the Force, and he's there to settle all and balance all and do all the Luke Skywalker cool boy things, like go dark side for a second, be like, nah, forget that, but I'm still gonna keep that choke. Suck it, Gamorrean guard. Haha, in your face, you fat pig, idiot. And then he's like on a search to find this dumbass knife and this idiot that's hiding it because he's like, I'm gonna go to the Palpatine planet and play with his crane dong, And Luke's like, hey, I feel something crazy in the Force and I can't quite figure out where it is, but it's definitely like right here. It's not in front of me. It's not behind me. It's not above me. Definitely can't be below me for 4 feet. Might as well just leave forever. Hey, Lando, stick around for 50 years just in case some idiot comes looking for this again.
Hey, Lando, why are you in this movie? Yes, we appreciate that you're still alive.
It was 5 feet away.
And
he's Luke Skywalker.
Lando, I love seeing Lando, but... if Lando had been alive that long and whatever, he would have been like a king, I think, at that point.
He was a general. Of course we know who he is. He's General Calrissian.
Except for nobody knew who he was in the movie. They're like, oh.
Yeah, they did. Because they were like, C-3PO's like, oh, this is General Calrissian. And everyone's like, shut up, idiot. Of course we know who he is.
Well, and that's another thing is all the like fake out, like send off farewell crap.
Chewie, no. Oh, hey, Chewie. Chewie, no.
C-3PO, no. Oh. Kylo, oh, no. Oh, everyone that is in the movie, oh, no.
Oh, yeah, and the friggin' in Kerry Russell's character who comes out of nowhere just to give the stupid idiot pilot boy more background. They're like, oh, did you know that this Han Solo-like character is also from a rundown stupid like slums planet? But he's not Han Solo, okay? He's different. But did you know that he has like a girlfriend that has Kerry Russell hair that pops out of her mask because it's Kerry Russell and you have to show that she has Kerry Russell hair because Felicity.
Hell yeah.
And then she's dead. Not dead. Maybe dead. Nope, not dead.
It was cool seeing Wedge, though.
Oh, there were some cool little Easter eggs. John Williams made an appearance
as a
robot
screen. Alien thing.
No, he was just a dude.
I thought he was he had like a beep bop boop eye or something.
Yeah, but he was just a dude.
He was like a cyborg, John Williams.
Yeah.
The movie's Easter eggs. That's all it is. If you want to go watch the movie and see Easter eggs, it's Easter egg the movie.
Plot holes.
Yeah.
And montages. And lightsabers versus flashlights. They're like, oh, idiot.
So like jokes and crazy commentary aside, like one of the biggest like actual problems of this movie is, going back to what the Grip said, is it's not made like a Star Wars movie. And it's kind of like going back to a pizza metaphor. It's like J.J. Abrams, Rian Johnson coming up and go, hey, we really want to make this pizza, but we're gonna change the game on pizza, and not like put pizza on a bagel and make a bagel bite, because that's still a pizza.
You can have that anytime.
You can have that anytime. But they're like, let's get rid of the cheese, let's get rid of the bread, let's put iceberg lettuce, ranch dressing, and maybe some. You will bring back the bread, but we'll make it stale and make it croutons, and then maybe some bacon bits. And it's like, bitch, you're making a salad. And they're like, no. This is a pizza. It's just different. And who are you to? Well, we need a new generation of pizza. And it's like, no, you're making a salad. You're making Guardians of the Galaxy. We've already tasted that. We know what it is. We've sampled it. We didn't want that. We want our pizza. And they're like, well, we're gonna try and shake it up a little. And nothing in this movie. The original trilogy, even when you set young, new, fresh eyes on it, like young children, you're like, that's for kids. You don't understand kids. You're only a kid when you watch the first one. And it's like, yeah, well, my little sister, when she was a kid, she had access to all like the bullshit Clone Wars and Pod Racer and all that stuff. She had equal opportunities. They were all out there on the table. And I was like, let's watch all these movies together. Here's the DVD babysitter, because she's a child. Which ones do you like the best? The better ones. These ones. These ones are better. These ones are, I don't want to watch these ones again. I want to watch these ones. And it's like, oh, why is that? I don't know. They're just better. And it was not because of a new generation. It was not because of nostalgia. It's because they're better movies structurally. And they weren't made to be this juggernaut machine of marketing and toy capitalization. And the first ones weren't.
The first one. But then
by Jedi it was. By
Star
Jedi,
Wars created marketing of toys.
Well, they did, but now it's gone too far. And so one of the things about the original trilogy is there was no slow moments in this new trilogy.
Yeah, nothing where you could sit and reflect on what happened or have time to digest anything.
Yeah. Or develop a consequence or a feeling or a bit of suspense, like
attachment,
maybe this isn't gonna work.
Yeah.
Like when you see Luke and Obi-Wan in the Death Star, there's this the way that it's structured, even though they're going to make it, the way that it pans out, like the rescue attempt with Leia when Luke and Han and Chewie are in there trying to bust her out, even though we know they're going to make it, the way that it's structured, the way that it's shot, the way that it's paced, the tension that those scenes build make you feel like there's some consequence. They may not make it out. Oh, geez. But in this movie, it's just like, you don't even have time to stop and like let it simmer. None of the, you're making a soup without making a stock, and you're putting some vegetables in hot water and going, there you go. And it just doesn't work. And it's going back to the assemblage of all these things that seem seemingly cool on paper. Like, well, we got to have a scene that looks like this. We got to have a scene that looks like this. We got to have a scene that looks like this. We got to have this fight. And we got to have this starship. We got to have this cameo. We got to show these aliens. We got to make sure there's some Ewoks in there. And then maybe one of these guys. And then maybe one of these guys. And we got this this celebrity that wants to play a part. I don't know where we're going to stick him, but we got to stick him in here anyway. Yeah. Oh, we need a script. Let's write some words to tie all these scenes together, and we only got 2 hours to do it, so you gotta make this movie hustle. And that's what it feels like.
Yeah, it was very rushed. So getting out of just spoiler bitch hour, which I really did have all these notes here to talk about the actual movie and not just throw fit about the actual story, but there wasn't a story. And I think that's a part of it, and why anything we've said isn't really going to ruin anything, because it's not there. And it does all just hit you so rapid fire and so fast. None of it feels like it fits or is well placed. It all does come at you in a montage. A lot of the time, there's 2 or 3 montages in the movie, which isn't something that Star Wars is designed to be. Star Wars was modeled after Akira Kurosawa movies and fairy tales and fables, things like King Lear and King Arthur, like all of these stories of knights and samurai and myth and mysticism,
honor and code and
they took that and they're like, well, there's guns that shoot and explosions. Let's do that for 2 hours and then just set it on fast forward. And then they added far too much comedy in it because there always needs to be some sort of comic relief to ease tension created by the movie. But that's
what the definition of comic relief is, to relieve you from tension and stress.
There's no stakes. There's no depth. There's no
becomes
substance.
comedy.
And there was nothing but that. There really is a scene where they turn on a flashlight and then Rey hits her lightsaber and she looks at him like, "What are you doing, idiot?" And he's like, "Oh," and he's like, "Flashlights are like lightsabers too, I guess." And it's just things like that are unneeded. And I saw a post where someone said they posted Star Wars credits scene and it said written by Reddit, and that's very accurate. You know, I know if someone said that it was supposed to be Han Solo's medal that they gave to Chewie, that doesn't mean anything. Why would that matter? Again, 42 years later in real time and movie time, you know, it's something that
where and why did she get it? She a grave robber?
After 40 years, it has no significance for the character or the audience, besides the fact that a lot of us like to make the joke and bitch about, it's like, how come Chewbacca was the only one left without getting a medal? You know, but that's because Star Wars and Star Trek.
That was internet subculture. That was what that was. That was a product of guys like us just going, "Oh, what happened?" It became a funny joke.
They're very
now it's canon.
They're very human centric, and even though they're movies about space with all of these species and fantastical beings and things like that, everything good or everything plot-wise or anything that really matters only happens to the human characters because they're someone you can connect with. Unless you really get into the characters, because like I like Ki-Adi-Mundi and Kit Fisto. I think people like Plo Koon are cool. Chewbacca, Nien Noom. You know, you have all
Admiral Akbar.
Yeah, well, Akbar gets recognition because he's a meme or whatever. You know.
Well, but even before he was a meme, you cared when Akbar was going down with the ship. You're like, oh, so he seemed like such a good guy.
Yoda and things like that. But so you have all these characters that aren't human, but they don't have the same screen time and care given to them.
They're like, oh, let's everybody get mad on the internet because Rose didn't have a bigger part. It's like Rose was a
BS throwaway dumbass character that just wanted to lock lips with Finn after they go to the casino.
It's like, what more do you want out of this character? I get it, diversity, I understand, but like when you're forcing it, like people are up in arms demanding quote unquote justice for Rose, and it's like she was a bombardier in a plane that
she's low tier, and Finn is force sensitive, and he's
Finn. The only reason Finn propelled to the top is he was one of the first like rogue stormtroopers that had intel, and that's how he managed to and he befriended Rey, and that's how he got propelled. Like that kind of makes sense.
And he happened to befriend the general to be. Let's make ourselves generals. Okay, general. Thank you, general. We're in charge now, idiots.
But you know, and then it's just these throwaway characters that they're forcing down our throats because they're going, well, we got to make some demographic of toy buyers happy.
I really straight up cannot remember the name of the pilot guy, which is why I've been calling him Pilot Guy the whole time. What's his name? He's the dude that's been in these 3 movies.
Oh, you're talking about the guy that had the really cool X-Wing at the beginning of the movie, the black X-Wing that could have been like a cool signature ship.
I don't know what makes it any cooler than any other X-Wing other than it's painted.
Oscar Isaac's character. Poe Dameron.
There it is, yeah. Straight up could not remember his name until you just told me. Because these characters don't matter.
No, they really don't.
There's no significance. Porkins is someone that you remember, though. Like, Porkins had 5 seconds of screen time.
Yeah,
but his name is Porkins.
Justice
and he's a fat
for Porkins.
Guy. Yeah.
You know, we just remember that because he was like a...
No, there is.
Gold leader. I'm in a Y-Wing, which why do Y-Wings even exist?
Because they're bombers and they have ion cannons. What do you mean, why do Y-Wings exist?
B-Wings are bombers.
B-Wings are attack bombers that have a heavier payload.
Speaking of heavy payloads, like look at Porkins over here.
That's what I'm saying. But Y-Wings, they have bombs and the ion cannons with 2 laser turrets on the front too. But their bombs, they have like big old bombs, and the B-Wings aren't that they don't have the payload, but they carry more weapons.
But Porkins,
Well, now A-wings are freaking cool. They got concussion missiles.
Porkins didn't have a big role, and no one needed justice for Porkins.
Oh, they put him in Rogue One. So
Same with Wedge. Everyone's like, "Where's Wedge? Wedge Antilles, get typical Wedge." And then we got a Wedgie at the end of
but that's
like,
because
"Hey, it's me."
That's because
Shoot Womp Rats in Womp Town.
Yeah, but if you like Star Wars and you've read any of the expanded universe
Wedge is
that
a
Disney
badass.
decided to throw away, there's an entire X-Wing series that follows him. Plus, you have the Rogue Squadron video games.
Yeah,
So.
he's got canon behind him. I mean, the movie was 100% trying to please everyone. And even like J.J. Abrams was like, well, you can't please everyone. I'm like, then why did you freaking try?
You try to please everyone, you please no one.
And that's what he's like, well, everybody's right. You know, some people are going to be mad. Everybody's going to be mad. You can't please everyone. Then stop trying. You're only saying you can't please everyone because now everyone's mad. Because you tried to please everyone. And that is just, you cannot do it. And same with Ryan Johnson. Like, I was just trying to, you can't please everyone. And it's like, well, you're not pleasing many of people here. Yeah, the box office, you're going to sell tickets because, I mean, everybody...
Because it says Star Wars.
Because it says Star Wars on it. But these movies are not going to have any longevity. Just like, people aren't picking up Episode 1 all the time. Honestly, I'm surprised we didn't see a pod race. Like, there was a scene on that one planet, like another dirt planet where a bunch of hobos live and Jawas and stuff.
Well,
it's like, why didn't they get in a pod race? That seemed a little bit faster than one of their...
Yeah, that was the other thing. That every planet they showed in this movie was planets but it's not the same planet. And they haven't done anything new in these movies at all because they're like, oh, it's Hoth, but it's salt instead of snow. Oh, gotcha. And in this movie, they're like, it's Tatooine, but it's not Tatooine. It's Yavin, but it's not Yavin. It's Camino, but it's not Camino. And then when at the end of the movie, they're like, well, look, here's Cloud City. You remember berries? And they're like, and here's Tatooine for no reason. And here's the indoor moon adjacent to this one that we're on right now. And none of it
I will say
mattered because when's the last time you saw Cloud City? Episode 5. That's it. The end. You don't need Cloud City anymore.
No, because it's not that special.
And they haven't brought Tatooine in any of these new movies, but they decided to show Tatooine they're like, oh, look, it's connected.
And this is going to really hurt for me to say, but at least in George Lucas's second trilogy, he showed tried to show some other planets.
Yeah, like Camino was a new thing.
Tried to,
Mustafar was a new thing.
He was trying. And
Episode
showed
2
the Senate,
Bug Planet, Coruscant.
I will say that as much as I don't like those movies that much, these movies make those movies look good.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And that's rough because those movies at least had some story. Like you're following the Senate. You're following this like a sinister plot of politics, and it's like there's more story in those, and it's like
Johnny getting started on the special edition. Let's not talk about those.
Does not count. But anyway, Rise of Skywalker. It is as predictable as and every fan theory that everyone's been like, I think this is gonna happen. They're all true. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. From the beginning, from the first time that Episode 7 was announced, everyone's like, I bet this is gonna happen. Turns out you were right. Mm-hmm. You were exactly right. You were right about Rey. You were right about
you were
Kylo
right about
Ren.
Ben.
You were right about Ben. You were right about Luke. You were right about Leia. You were right about
you're right
about Chewie because you made him get that medal.
Oh, and the worst joke was where Rey's like, "Forget this lightsaber. Ugh, I hate the Force." And Luke's like, "Don't throw lightsabers, idiot." In the last movie, the first thing he did was like, "Forget this," and they're like, "Oops, that was bad," and everyone hated it. Now let's have Luke say that that's a dumb thing to do,
even though he did it,
and then show his ghost sucking at the teat of the walrus with the teaties on it. Yeah. Show the walrus with the human titties.
Mm-hmm. Rise of Skywalker. It's funny because Disney has said that they don't want to make any more of these trilogy movies, but because they've got like an Obi-Wan TV series in the works since the Baby Yoda show is so popular.
Oh, greenlit for season 2,
of course, and then you've got the Darth Vader possibility show that is being announced, and now the Disney whatever head of Star Wars CEO, whatever the hell his title is like, well, it is not outside the realm of possibility that from success of these television series we may see a feature film after this. It's like, no shit, because that's all you're trying to do is you're putting bait out into the water to see if you can.
Really pisses me off too is they're like, look, the stormtroopers have jetpacks. That definitely didn't happen in Dark Forces following the events of episode 4. Fuck you, Disney. I'm so mad about everything. Anyhow, real movie talk. It's not a good movie, y'all. There's nothing movie there.
It's sensory overload with a thing that was precious to a lot of people, and
once upon a time
there was a form and a style. It's like, you know how Wes Anderson movies are Wes Anderson movies. There are the Star Trek movies, even up until J.J. Abrams.
Ruined that too. Yep.
They had a style and a method and a formulaic in a way that is kind of necessary. You don't like Danielle Steele books. You don't have to like them, but she's got a formula and she's a best-selling author. Harry Potter, they're like all of those kind of the same, and it's one of those things that style and formula are pretty much. I mean, it's the Marvel. It's what Marvel ended up having to do is they trashed all what they knew from Thor and then found a new style with Guardians of the Galaxy and then course corrected all of their movies to follow this new style guide that has now dictated everyone because it works and it gets butts in seats and sells toys, and they figured it out. And Star Wars had that, and they threw it out the window to try and make a better one, and it's not working.
To try to make Guardians of the Galaxy with Star Wars.
They're trying to put that style guide.
I think Thor: The Dark World taught Disney a bad lesson that serious movies don't work, instead of realizing that the story there was weak and that the introduction of different characters and the elf race that they tried to do just wasn't there for anyone. The serious movie can still work and operate fine and still get you viewers, but they took the wrong lesson from that and then forced everything into the comedy of Guardians and Ragnarok instead.
Mm-hmm. It's all comedies now. Even like the last episode of Baby Yoda that came on, which is the season finale. I don't know if this guy's watching, but a friend of mine who was like, "Oh, the first 8 minutes of Baby Yoda show, a season like episode 8, where it's like amazing." And I watched it, and I was ready to throw my remote through my giant television because it was some of the worst Star Wars that I've ever seen. It was 2 speeder troopers, like forest troopers. They're on the speeder bikes. Scouts, yeah. And they're sitting there having like Chip style commentary, like, "Hey man, what's in the bag?" "Oh, I don't know what's in the bag."
Is that what people?
Touch the bag. And it's just
people posted. They're like, "Oh, 5 seconds in, and I really want like a spin-off of these two guys."
Yeah, it was like Red versus Blue / what's the show that everybody's talking, the Canadian show. Can't believe I can't think of the name. It's like Letterkenny. It was like Letterkenny on speeder bikes, and it was the dumbest shit that. And here's the thing: is it was kind of funny. But not Star Wars. It's not Star Wars. And because it's funny doesn't mean that it's good. It's not Star Wars.
You can get from Funny or Die, the Troopers. There's a whole series that's just that.
And that's parody.
It's a whole series.
That's parody, and that's okay. You can parody that, and that's fine. But don't put it in an actual movie. Like that, it doesn't belong. It's like, hey, we're a couple of murderous thugs out here on a planet that we're about to go murder a baby in this bag. You want to make some jokes about it? Sure, man. Here's another funny one that I just thought of after I just watched our boss murk down 16 of my friends with a ion cannon, but still time for joking. The temper he's got.
They're called stormtroopers. They're literally named after World War II Nazis. They are not supposed to be likable people.
Yeah, and they're just like cutting it up, and that's fine for parody on Funny or Die or whatever. But it is not fine in this situation. If you want a show about that, then have like Space Bikers and fucking do that. Like, and make jokes about, two guards of something else. Like, it doesn't work when you try to retrofit it into this pizza. Don't put salad on it. Like, it's
Oh, speaking of stormtroopers, everyone would be happy to know that since you've watched Captain Phasma die twice after 15 seconds of screen time, potentially going to be a big bad in this trilogy, she was nowhere to be seen or found. The character completely gone. So last time she fell through a floor was for good. Yeah. So there went that whole character.
Yeah, that whole big buildup of a big diversity-friendly, fancy-looking outfit, totally toyable, and nope, dropped her through the floor, and then she's dead.
Yep.
But anyway, I don't know. Okay, we got to do box office. We could do this for probably 6 more hours. But,
sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
I meant to keep it like on track movies, but you get so heated because it's something that I've watched my whole life with Star Wars, and then 2002 happened and you're like, what? No, don't do that. And then 2005 happened and you're like, why? No, you know. And then
that's not true. That's impossible.
And then these last 3 happened, and there's just no excuse for it. So
oh, you can't make everybody happy.
Yeah.
That's your excuse right there. All right, well, let's go over the weekend box office totals for the last weekend. It's a holiday weekend, Christmas weekend, and we're going to go through the top 10 movies in America, what they made, what they did make. We're going to start with number 10, work our way up to number 1, except for we're going to take a little detour and tell you that number 15 in America, movie in America, and only 70 theaters nationwide, which means it is getting a lot of traction per screen, over $10,538 average per screen. That is Ip Man 4, the finale, bringing in $737,000.
Yeah, unfortunately, we did not get it.
No, it's only in 70 theaters. So there you go. The number 14 movie is in 1,500 theaters. So bam, take that. All right, number 10, Richard Jewell from Warner Brothers, bringing in $3 million in the box office in its 3rd weekend in release, bringing its total domestic gross up to $16.1 million. Not doing so great there, Richard Jewell. Number 9, Bombshell. Speaking of Richard Jewell, Bombs. $4.8 million there at the box office for Lionsgate in its 3rd weekend in release, bringing in a total of $15.7 million. If you want to check out our review, check out last week's episode where I talk about Bombshell. Number 8, Cats from Universal Pictures. 2nd weekend release, bringing in another $4.8 million, only bringing in $17.8 million, set to lose over $100 million at the box office.
Yeah, ouch.
Universal Pictures' biggest flop of the year, probably I think in a couple of years. So actual flop, yes, not measured on quality of content, but box office earnings. I want you guys to make sure you understand those words that we use.
Well, I wonder how much it's costing them to send out those
probably
revamped
too much
films. Yeah.
Oof. I mean, shoot, if I were a producer on it, it'd be pro bono work because you get points back on the back end, and that's money that you've invested. So it's worth that sweat equity to get that movie back up over the hump, so you can get a little percentage back and not lose your investment. So, who knows how much they're spending on it. Number 7, Uncut Gems in its 3rd weekend release. Even though those first 2, this is its first expanded week. It opened up and it was only in like 10 theaters across the country the last 2 weeks. So this is technically its first weekend in wide release, but it brought in $9.5 million in its release, bringing it up to $20 million at the box office for A24. Number 6, Knives Out, somehow still out here, $9.8 million this weekend in the box office in its 5th weekend release for Lionsgate. Rian Johnson making a movie that wasn't that terrible after making a movie that was Star Wars, bringing in $110.3 million at the box office. Number 5, opening up at number 5, which is not a really good time to open or position to open, from 20th Century Fox, Spies in Disguise, bringing in $13.3 million for 20th Century Fox, Buena Vista Home Entertainment.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I like how this has totally eclipsed Cats in its first week.
Dude.
Animated movie where Will Smith is James Bond and he turns into a pigeon and they're like, take my money. And they're like, Cats, the beloved Broadway musical, now with sexy CGI. I was like, get that out of here.
Get it out of here. Get your Andrew Lloyd Webber out of my face. Anyway, $22.2 million total in its opening week because we got the long holiday weekend. So these numbers are including like our total domestic gross, even for these opening movies. Count the long week, so you've got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's the beauty of big holiday weekends is you can get those big box office numbers and then claim, this weekend we did blah.
Christmas is a big movie theater day.
It is a huge movie theater day. Number 4, Little Women, bringing in $16.7 million over the weekend, but the whole total holiday gross bringing in $29.2 for Sony Pictures releasing. Hearing really good reviews come back about it. May have to check that out after I see Cats. But number 3, Frozen 2, in its 6-weekend release, bringing in $16.8 million to the box office, bringing its total domestic gross up to $421 million. Here in the States, it is well into the billion-dollar club. So
it's like how Frozen's 1 week total after being out for a month and a half is the same amount of money that Cats has made in its entire
run. Oof. Number 2, Jumanji: The Next Level, bringing in an impressive $35.3 million in this holiday weekend in its third week. 33.3 in a third week is a pretty impressive haul, bringing its total domestic gross up to $175 million at the box office, which is impressive because that's a 33% jump.
I was going to say that's a big bump from last week.
Well, same with Frozen. They both got knocked down a little bit, but then went up for the holiday weekend. And holiday weekends are one of the few times that you see bumps like that. Even Knives Out got a 50% bump from its previous weekend.
That's good for Jumanji because that means it's now made its money back. Because I know last week it was on the downward trend, and Christmas came and performed its Christmas miracle and
bumped it up.
Yeah. How about that?
And the number 1 movie in America for 2 weeks in a row, Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, with a 60% drop-off from last week, bringing in $72.3 million at the box office this weekend. Total domestic gross clocking in at $362 million at the domestic box office, still making lots of money. The worldwide gross so far up to $725 million, probably going to breach that billion-dollar mark in the next 2 weeks. And that's their goal. That's all they want to do. They want to make billion-dollar movies because that's the thing now. It's just how do we make a billion-dollar movie? And let's just keep making those billion-dollar movies.
I really wish there were more offerings coming out in the theater so that everyone could have that just like one and done. Star Wars, get it out of the way, and it just spiraled downward and not get Disney their money.
Well, and I went to see Uncut Gems, and it was in one of those theaters that only has 3 rows of seats. It was like super tiny, but every showing of it was sold out because people want to see this movie, but they can't because Disney demands that Star Wars be on all of your biggest screens and at least all of your theaters.
So, fun fact, while I was waiting for you to show up with our tickets for Star Wars, I was talking to one of the managers of our local theater, and there was the DeBang 3 standee standing right there, and I decided to ask him in person just to make some conversation while I was standing there, and he acted like I was some sort of idiot, which was a lot of fun. And he was like, Star Wars though, and he's like, you see, the way it works is there's like a contract with the movie, and you have to have so many showings. Like, say if we had it in this many theaters, we'd have to have this many showings. And I was like, I get it.
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah, I totally get it. I was just asking you when you expected to see the movie in the theater, since you're advertising it, and instead I'm having to watch Star Wars, which I do not want to do. And he was not most accommodating person about it, but he told me all about how because of Star Wars, the movie theater doesn't get to show movies. They have to show Star Wars.
And that's on you guys, the audience out there, for letting them do it.
I hate that guy too, Vince.
Yep. I agree, Vince. Over there in YouTube world. Well, that is going to wrap it up. That's the top 10 movies in America right now. And we will see you guys next year for another exciting episode of the Drive-In Speakerbox. I don't know what we're going to watch. Probably Cats, maybe Little Women.
We got to watch some bad movies to get ready for our worst of.
I know. We got to catch up Spies in Disguise.
Oh.
So anyway, we'll see you guys next year. Have a great and safe happy New Year's Eve. Blue Masquerade, bluenye.com. I'm the boom operator.
Good grip.
See you guys later.